नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी भाष्यात्यादेशधारिणे Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha
Hare Rama Krishna
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hare Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gita Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhakta Raguna Shri Diva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raguna Hare Hadaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Hare Hadaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ram Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Gauranita, 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 Jaya Gauranita, Gauranita. Gauranita, Gauranita. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Subhadra. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled world. All glories to the assembled world. All glories to the assembled world. All glories to Shri
Shri Guru Vandana. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his love seed, the protection that fully all desires. He opens my darkened heart, infuse my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, verse after verse. From him ecstatic claim my enemies. By him ignorance destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master, ocean of his mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Let the shade of your velocity, may your fame be spread all over the three worlds.
Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, we would also like to welcome Guru Bhakti Prabhu, which is the right from Ticino. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thanks for coming.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivrajakacarya Ashtatara Sata Shishima Kirandi Goswami His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, Chapter 30, which has the title Activities of the Prachetas. Verse number 12. Bhavita Vishrutaha Putraha Anavamaha Brahmana Gunai Ya Etam Atmaviryena Trilokim Puraishyate Bhavita Vishrutah Putro Bhavita Vishrutah Putro Navamo Brahmano Gunai Navamo Brahmano Gunai Ya etam atma viryena Ya etam atma viryena Trilokim puraishyati Trilokim puraishyati
Bhavita Vishruta Putra
Bhavita Vishruta Putra
Navamo Brahmano Gunai
Navamo Brahmano Gunai
Aitam Atma Viryena
Ya etam atma viryena
Tilokim Purayishyati
Tilokim purayishyati
Bhavita Vishruta Putro
Bhavita Vishruta Putro
Navamo Brahmano Gunai Yaitam Atma Viryena Tilokim Purayishyati
Bhavita Vishruta Putro
Bhavita Vishruta Putro
Navamo Brahmano Gunai
Navamo Brahmano Gunai
Yaetam Atma Viryena Trilokim Puraishyati
Purayishyati
Bhavita Vishruta Putro
Bhavita Vishruta Putro
Navamo Brahmano Gunai
Navamo Brahmana Gunai
Ya etam Atma Viryena
Yahena Atma Viryena
Trilokim Purayishyati
Bhavita Vishruta Putro
Bhavita Vishruta Putro
Navamo Brahmano Gunai
Navamo Brahmano Gunai
Yaitam Atma Viryena
Yaitam Atma Viryena
Tilokim Purayishyati
Trilokim Purayishyati Bhavita there will be Vishrutaha, very famous. Putra, son. Anavamaha, not inferior, Brahmana, to Lord Brahma, Gunai, by qualifications, Ya, who, Etam, all this, Atma Viryana, by his progeny, Trilokim, the three worlds, Puraishyati, will fill. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Here Lord Vishnu is speaking to the Prachetas. You will have a nice son who will be in no way inferior to Lord Brahma. Consequently, he'll be very famous all over the universe, and the sons and grandsons generated by him will fill the three worlds. Purport. As explained in the next verse, the Prachetas will marry the daughter of the great sage Kandu. It is suggested that the son's name will be Vishruta, and that he will glorify both his father and mother because of his good character. In fact, he would be greater than Lord Brahma. The great politician, Chanakya, said that if there is a good tree within a garden or forest, its flowers will fill the forest with their fragrance. Similarly, a good son within a family makes the whole family famous all over the world. Krishna took birth in the family of the Yadus, and consequently the Yadu dynasty is famous all over the world. So, I will just, if you allow, read a few verses previously to this verse, because they are very important. So, at the start of this chapter, the activities of the Prachetas, Vidura inquires from Maitreya, O Brahmana, you formerly spoke about the sons of Prachina Barhi and informed me that they satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead by chanting a song composed by Lord Shiva. What did they achieve in this way? In 1979, we had our temple with Shishi Gornitai in Geneva, in Switzerland. We moved also to Düdingen. We will talk about this in the afternoon, how we moved to Düdingen, and then from Düdingen we moved here to Zurich, and in 1980. Anyhow, in 1979 there was one of my godbrothers whose name was Kailas Chandra, who came to Geneva, and he still is a very, very, very strict Brahmin, extremely powerful. He was in those days traveling around inspiring Sankirtan devotees. And he came to Geneva, and we were distributing books in those days in Dhoti. We were going door to door in the Swiss-French part of Switzerland. And he instructed us that we should chant the song composed by Lord Shiva. Today is Lord Shiva Ratri. And we were thinking, oh, why is he asking us that? Because he said, if you chant this Shiva Stotram, you will achieve whatever you want. I was thinking, wow. In those days, we just wanted to distribute so many books. We didn't have any other desires, right? Mm-hmm. So here, Vidura inquires from Maitreya, what did they achieve by chanting a song composed by Lord Vishnu? What did they achieve in this way? This Shiva Stotram is here in this fourth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is a very, very powerful mantrams. Yeah. It's so many verses. Anyhow, we followed the instructions by my god brother Kailas Chandra, and we woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and we chanted the rounds till Mangal Arati. After Mangal Arati, we sat down, all the Sankirtan devotees all together, and we started to recite this Shiva Stotram, one after another verse, one after another, every single day, every single day. And believe it or not, we achieved a lot. We went out door to door, and sort of the doors flung open in front of us. We didn't know why and how. They just opened. And the people we met were very impressed by our presence. Not that we were some special people. Of course, we were going out in dhoti in those days. We were monks, right? Brahmacharis. But still, it was very powerful. So, the next verse in this chapter explains the following. My dear Barhaspatya, what did the sons of King Barhishat, known as the Prachetas, obtain after meeting Lord Shiva, who is very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the bestower of liberation? Certainly they were transferred to the spiritual world, but apart from that, what did they obtain within this material world, either in this life or in the other lives? The great Maitreya said, the sons of King Prachina Barhi, known as Prachetas, underwent severe austerities within the seawater to carry out the order of their father. By chanting and repeating the mantras given by Lord Shiva, they were able to satisfy Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the end of 10,000 years of severe austerities performed by the Prachetas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to reward their austerities, appeared before them in his very pleasing form. This appealed to the Prachetas and satisfied the labor of their austerities. The Personality of Godhead appearing on the shoulder of Garuda seemed like a cloud resting on the summit of the mountain known as Meru. The transcendental body of the Personality of Godhead was covered by attractive yellow garments, and his neck was decorated with the jewel known as Kaustubhamani. The bodily effulgence of the Lord dissipated all the darkness of the universe. Is it all right for translation?
Which verse you are reading?
I'm reading verse number 5 in the same chapter.
Thank you.
The Lord's face was beautiful. That's verse number 6, chapter 30. The Lord's face was very beautiful, and his head was decorated with a shining helmet and golden ornaments. The helmet was dazzling and was very beautifully situated on his head. The Lord had 8 arms, which each held a particular weapon. The Lord was surrounded by demigods, great sages, and other associates. These were all engaged in his service. Garuda, the carrier of the Lord, glorified the Lord with Vedic hymns by flapping his wings. Garuda appeared to be an inhabitant of the planet known as Kinarloka. Around the neck of the Personality of Godhead, that's verse number 7, around the neck of the Personality of Godhead hung a flower garland that reached to his knees. His 8 stout and elongated arms were decorated with a garland which challenged the beauty of the goddess of fortune. With a merciful glance and a voice like thunder, the Lord addressed the sons of King Prachina Barhishat, who were very much surrendered unto him. Verse number 8. The Supreme Personality of God has said, my dear sons of the King, I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me. Verse number 9. The Lord continued, those who remember you every evening and every day will become friendly with their brothers and with all other living entities. Verse number 10. Those who will offer me the prayers composed by Lord Shiva, both in the morning and in the evening, will be given benedictions by me. In this way, they can both fulfill their desires and attain good intelligence. If you allow, I will read the purport to this verse, which is such a nice verse. Good intelligence means going back home, back to Godhead. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 10th verse. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. One who offers prayers to the Lord to fulfill his different desires must know that the highest perfection of fulfillment of desire is to go back home, back to Godhead. In this verse it is indicated that those who remember the activities of the Prachetas, the sons of Kiprachina Varhishit, will be delivered and blessed. So what to speak of the sons of King Prachina Barhishat who are directly connected with the Supreme Personality of Godhead? This is the way of the Parampara system. If we follow the Acharyas, we attain the same benefit as our predecessors. If one follows the decisions of Arjuna, he should be considered to be directly hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no difference between hearing Bhagavad Gita directly from the Supreme Lord and following a personality like Arjuna, who formerly heard Bhagavad Gita directly from the Lord. Sometimes foolish people argue that since Krishna is not present at the moment, one cannot take direct instructions from him. Such foolish people do not know that there is no difference between directly hearing Bhagavad Gita and reading it, as long as one accepts the Bhagavad Gita as it is, spoken by the Lord. However, if one wants to understand Bhagavad Gita by his imperfect interpretations, one cannot possibly understand the mysteries of the Bhagavad Gita, even though one may be a great scholar according to mundane estimation. And the verse number 11, which preceded the one that we read today. Because you have with pleasure accepted within your hearts the order of your Father, and have executed those orders very faithfully, your attractive qualities will be celebrated all over the world. And the purport also is very nice, so I'll read it. Since every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has small independence. Sometimes unintelligent men ask why one is put into a miserable condition, even though everyone is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because of his minute independence, the living entity can obey or disobey the orders of the Supreme Lord. If he obeys the Supreme Lord's orders, he becomes happy. If he does not, he becomes unhappy. Therefore, the living entity creates his own happiness or unhappiness. The Supreme Lord does not enforce these on anyone. The Supreme Lord praised the Prachetas because they all faithfully obeyed the orders of their father. The Lord therefore blessed the sons of King Prachina Barhichit because they obeyed their father's order. In today's verse, you will have a nice son who will be in no way inferior to Lord Brahma. Consequently, he will be very famous all over the universe, and the sons and grandsons generated by him will fill the three worlds. Purport, once again. As explained in the next verse, the Prachetas will marry the daughter of the great sage Kandu, It is suggested that the son's name will be Vishruta and that he will glorify both his father and mother because of his good character. In fact, he would be greater than Lord Brahma. The great politician Chanakya said that if there is a good tree within a garden or a forest, its flowers will fill the forest with their fragrance. Similarly, a good son within a family makes the whole family famous all over the world. Krishna took birth in the family of the Yadus, and consequently the Yadu dynasty is famous all over the world. Om Argyanati Mirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshushu Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. So, this is a very instructive verse. Because it describes the mercy of the Supreme Lord upon his devotees and the devotees of his devotees. The great politician Chanakya said that if there's a good tree within a garden or forest, its flowers will fill the forest with their fragrance. Similarly, a good son within a family makes the whole family famous all over the world. So, there are different kinds of families. This is the family line of King Prachinabarhi. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is also a family. It's called Achyuta Gotra. The Gotra means family tradition or family descendant, and Achyuta means the one who is infallible, who never falls down. And in this family of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which was started 500 years ago by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many sons, if we may say, many sons were born in this Achyuta Gotra, and they made this Achyuta Gotra family very famous. And we know that our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, he made the family of Achyuta Gotra, or the devotees of Krishna, famous all around the world. He was born into this family by becoming initiated by His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, who was the son, direct son, of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And he made the message of Lord Chaitanya famous throughout India during his life. He established 64 Gaudiya Math centers, temples everywhere, even in Burma. He even sent his disciples to Germany and to England. And of course, his spiritual son, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, or the founder Acharya, he made the message of Lord Chaitanya, Gauravani, relevant to all people around the world, which is quite amazing. Yeah. So all this is just simply by the mercy of the Lord. Nothing happens like this amazing spreading of Krishna consciousness without the mercy of the Lord. Yeah. Nothing can happen. The blessings have to be there. And it's amazing that Srila Prabhupada left India in 1965 in September, all alone, without any help, without any assistance. But he was such a glorious son of his spiritual master, spiritual son, that he made the message of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, available to all the people around the world, and became famous all around the world, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. everywhere. It's amazing. I would just like to, in this connection, read something, because we've celebrated some 2 weeks ago the 150th appearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the glorious son of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who inspired so much our spiritual master and empowered him. As Prabhupada wrote in his prayer, that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati was empowered by Lord Chaitanya, Balavan, very powerful. So, in one of his articles, which was called Acharya Ashamodva Mahatva, published in the Gaudiya Journal, the article is translated, the title is The Acharya's Unequaled and Unsurpassed Greatness. So I will read it very slowly so that our translator can follow. Yeah? Many people think, that the path of bhakti is covered with a soft bed of flowers. Blind faith, indiscipline, whimsical behavior, indiscrimination, sentimentalism, and emotional outbursts are all counted by them as being means of performing bhakti. But from Shastra and from the words of the Acharyas, it is understood that although the authorized path of bhakti is the only means of attaining the ultimate goal of life, it is full of thorns. Especially in this age of Kali, the age of argumentation and quarrel, it is covered with millions of thorns. The gods sent acharyas, who are oceans of causeless mercy, at the very outset warn those who are desirous of entering the path of bhakti about the millions of obstacles they will surely encounter, so that these travelers on the path of bhakti can safely and without hindrance reach the desired tree of Krishna's lotus feet and relish the fruit of prema. Such easily obtainable benevolence of the acharyas is testimony to their liberal bestowal of non-malefic mercy upon the jivas. Those who are selfish, desirous of their own happiness, overcome by laziness, or afraid of dharmika people, withdraw due to the shouting of non-devotees. Or they think, when I require my own self-interest, prestige, or personal happiness, why should I have to endure various conflicts by acting for others' benefit? What is the necessity of hearing the abuse of non-devotees? Another class of persons think that by becoming nirjan bhajananandis, they will suffer none of this trouble and will not have to hear the reproaches of others. But a paradukadukhi acharya is not selfish, idle, or simply desirous of his personal happiness. He is not afraid of others. He says, our Bhaktisiddhanta cites, even if hundreds and hundreds of people, or even if all the godless people of the innumerable universes assemble and in one voice shout at me, I will accept it and loudly declare the actual truth. If the topics of reality enter the ears of even a single person among millions of people from millions of universes who are completely averse to Krishna, and thus remove the contamination of the cheating propensity from his heart, then I will understand that I have been able to serve Mahaprabhu's Mano Bhishta. Because I know that all the jivas within the innumerable universe are coming and going because of their aversion to Krishna. Therefore, all jivas within the universe, beginning from Brahma, are averse to the supreme absolute truth. Hence, not everyone will listen to the discussion about the truth. It is sufficient if even among 1 crore of jivas, that means 100 million, we can find one who is interested in hearing the truth. That jiva can then become situated in the truth and preach the truth to others. Probably this is why Thakur Bhaktivinoda said, now Bhaktivinoda Thakur cited, a preacher effects more benefit for the world than all those who become indifferent to preaching because of their preferring to remain absorbed in the bliss of their own bhajan. So the article goes on, of course. He's citing, Bhaktisiddhanta citing the very interesting points. I will just make it short because otherwise it's very complicated English, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Prahlad Maharaj, he's describing Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, he was the dearmost son of Hiranyakashipu. Come, my dear Prahlad, what have you learned at school? My dear little boy. And he was petting his head, right? As soon as Prahlad started to talk about the truth, that was the end. All the so-called love that his father had, because this audacious son was preaching about the truth, and therefore he became his enemy, right? The same goes, he describes also the situation of Sri Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya, he started to, during the youthhood of Sriman Ramanujacharya, who was one of the 4 acharyas of our sampradaya, he preached the truth without accepting subordination to a false, putative, inimical to Vishnu. From that time onward, his harassment began. As soon as he started to preach devotion to Lord Vishnu, then it was finished. Then he described, they even wanted to kill Ramanujacharya, they wanted to give him poison because he preached about Vishnu. And the same goes, and he describes also Haridas Thakur, right? And ultimately he describes what happened to Shri Gauraj Sundar, or Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was called Nimai Pandit. And everybody in Navadip called him, oh, Nimai, or Nimai. He's so wonderful, Nimai Pandit. And he was a logician, and everybody liked him. Everybody loved him in those days. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati describes that once, when he came back from Gaya, he did also the Shraddha ceremony for his father in Gaya, and everybody said, oh, he's such a religious man, this Nimai Pandit, But then when he started to preach about Krishna, his students, they chased him with a stick. right? And Prakashananda Saraswati's disciples in Varanasi, they despised him, right? And we know how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu converted them by telling the truth, because he was God, of course. Yeah. So, to make this story short, preaching is speaking the truth. And as soon as you speak the truth, you will have so many enemies. And this movement started like this. We were preaching and we had so many enemies. Let's say, for example, when we started to preach in Geneva, the police was taking us to prison. Many of our devotees ended up in prison, and they got thrown out of Switzerland, you know. What to speak of the greatest problem that they had in former Soviet Union, right? Be it in Armenia, for example, some of you have read the book Salted Bread. You have read it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's an incredible story, you know, that this devotee had, how he was persecuted. But why? Because he was preaching the truth, right? So, my point is that the truth is there in the Bhagavatam. We are not inventing the truth. We are not the ones who say we have the truth, yeah, and you don't have the truth. We are the only ones. No. At the start of the Bhagavatam, may I request, maybe you can give me the first canto of Bhagavatam? It's there. English. I think it's right there next to the... It's there. It's a blue book. Yeah, that's it. Is it in English?
It's not English.
I couldn't read. First canto. Is it there? It's not there, huh? Anyhow. Oh, we found. Thank you very much. Jai Jai. So, just that we know what the truth is, yeah, so that we don't discuss about our truth and your truth and their truth. So, at the start of the Bhagavatam, in the text number 2, right in the start, as you know, many of you know this verse, of course, you are great sages. Dharma projito kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayonmulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni krite kimva parair ishvarha sadyo hridya avarudyate trakritibhir shushrubis tatkshanat. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth. So we are not concerned with your truth, my truth, this truth. We are concerned with the Bhagavatam truth. Right? And Bhagavatam truth propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth, now is defined, the highest truth is reality, distinguished from illusion, for the welfare of all. That's a very nice definition of truth, isn't it? I like that definition. It's not the highest truth is Jesus Christ, the highest truth is Hare Krishna movement, the highest truth is Allah, the highest truth is, economics, right? Nowadays, in this materialistic situation, everybody, the highest truth is money. Money is honey. Money talks, nobody walks. That's the highest truth. But it's not the highest truth. We in the Bhagavata, in the Achyuta Gotra, in the family of the Acharyas, which we were reading now, we accept the highest truth as reality, distinguished from illusion, for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries, it's stated here. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. It was interesting how Prabhupada was preaching sometimes, I'll finish here, to scientists, to devotees who were saying, look, but Prabhupada, there were many of my godbrothers who were challenging Prabhupada. Don't think that Prabhupada had an easy time. He had to speak the truth to people from the West. And we were all saying, but Prabhupada, look, we have airplanes, we have computers, everything is doing nicely, you know, we have so many nice cars, we have money, you know, we're doing good, we're perfect, you know. Science is doing everything for us. We have computers nowadays. We are better than Sanjaya. You know, Sanjaya, Dhritarashtra asked Sanjaya, tell me, what is going on? How are my sons? And Sanjaya saw the television in his heart, right? And he started to describe, Sanjaya described to the blind Dhritarashtra what's going on the battlefield. You just open your tablet and you can look at any lecture in Vrindavan right now, online, live, right? So, Prabhupada, what is this? You know, we're doing so good. Our civilization is so nice. Come on. Why are you so pessimistic, you know? It's such a nice world. And you are always preaching that this is a horrible world and truth and blah, blah, blah. But Prabhupada writes here, Bhagavatam writes here, sorry. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. And what are those threefold miseries? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. These are actually 4 miseries. 3 miseries are birth, death, old age and disease. This is what uproots these problems. That's why Prabhupada was preaching. You can do whatever you want, but you will have to die. Yeah? Take another birth. You will be old. You will be sick. So that's the truth, you know. And this Bhagavatam uproots these 3 miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of the Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. So therefore, we are followers of the Bhagavatam, which propounds the highest truth, which uproots the threefold miseries, which, as is stated here, the highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. When we read these beautiful verses, how Lord Vishnu appeared in front of the Prachetas in his beautiful 8-armed form this time, you know, with all the decoration. A normal, materialistic people say, what is this kind of mythology? Right? They think this is mythology. All these stories. But for devotees who are in the Achyuta Gotra, these are not stories, these are reality. We actually see Lord Vishnu appear within the pages of the Bhagavatam. We see Lord Vishnu. We realize Lord Vishnu, and it's such a pleasure, such a nectar, right? Materialistic Indologists, scientists, when they read these things, they simply think, oh, this is some kind of flattering words, flowery words. But no, this is reality. Lord Vishnu is reality. And he appears in this world to bless his devotees. This is reality. And he appears on the wings of Garuda. And Garuda offers his prayers by flapping his wings, you know. It's wonderful. These are truth. This is not illusions. Illusions are, this material body is an illusion. It won't last, you know. Now we have a material body which looks like this. Next material body will have a body which looks like that. This is illusion. So therefore, for us the Bhagavatam is so important. We are so dedicated and thankful to Srila Prabhupada that he gave us this Bhagavatam and that he accepted us and his disciples accepted you also in this family. And there are not many of us, but we are like fragrant flowers within a forest, as is described in the purport, you know. Also, just for the end, it's something like vitamins, the Krishna consciousness movement. You know how many vitamins you need in your body? This is just milligrams. When you compare it with the kilograms of food that you have to ingest every day, you know, it's nothing. But the vitamins are so important for your well-being, you know. The vitamins, all kind of vitamins, you take, some of you, not to be sick, you take vitamins to be healthy, right? If you don't have enough, for example, vitamin C, you have a cold and you become ill. Your immunity becomes... So vitamins are vital, that's why we call them vitamins. Because they're vital, but there are so little. So similarly, if there's just, in Zurich, 50 Hare Krishna devotees, oh, so important for the whole city of Zurich, you know. Or in India, there's 1.5 billion people, so maybe if there's, I don't know, 1 million devotees of Krishna in the Vaishnava Sampradaya and followers of Bhagavatam, there's quite a lot in India. It's not so much, but still it's so important, right? So here in the city of, in Switzerland, there are maybe, I don't know, 150 devotees, maybe, but they're so important because they're like vitamin in the body. They bring health to the whole social body, and their blessings are important. So despite that we are a small movement and we do not have the big followership as the Catholic Church, for example, in this country, or as other traditions, still it is important to understand that the message of the Bhagavatam, the truth of the Bhagavatam, is so important to spread within the world and to preach. And don't be disappointed that people won't accept your books or say, oh, I don't want these books, you're Hare Krishnas, you know. Don't be disappointed. Understand that once you speak the truth, you'll have a lot of enemies, right? If you flatter people and if you just say, oh, how nice you are, then everybody's, no problem, yeah? But if you speak the truth, as stated by Siddhanta Saraswati, it's not that easy. There will be thorns. Okay, so thank you very much for your attention. And any questions, any additional something would you like to say? I would be happy. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to share a reflection, if you allow, because you focused also towards the end of your discourse on how Srimad Bhagavatam is the absolute truth. And then text 11 just before this, the translation reads that the individual who faithfully follows the spiritual master is celebrated all over the world. And I was thinking of how Srila Prabhupada faithfully followed his spiritual master, and therefore he's celebrated all over the world. And this again proves your point that you read, that Srimad Bhagavatam is the absolute truth. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to share that.
Thank you very much. Actually, I would just add to your comment. Srila Prabhupada was in Vrindavan and everything was going wrong at the start, in 1965. So many difficulties he had. And then one friend told him, why don't you translate something substantial instead of just publishing the Back to Godhead? And at that time, Prabhupada had the idea that he will start to translate the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then things started to happen, what we call Krishna magic. Yeah? Anyone who's distributing books, he knows what is Krishna magic. Yeah? If you don't distribute books to the public, you don't know what's Krishna magic, you know. But if you distribute books to people, you know what's Krishna magic. Suddenly, some man came by and said, oh, my son, he lives in India. He's called Mr. Agarwal. And he will provide you a passage to, he will provide you support that you can go and preach in America. And then Prabhupada went to Bombay and there was Sumati Morarji. And at start she didn't want, then came Krishna Magic, and she gave Prabhupada a ticket, a return ticket. And then Prabhupada, with few boxes of Bhagavatams, Srimad Bhagavatams, came to New York, unloaded, and he preached sometime. And then Krishna Magic started to happen. He met Howard Wheeler, Jayagurudeva, and other devotees, and Krishna Magic started to happen. More devotees joined, and then suddenly Prabhupada said, we will publish the Bhagavatam here in America. Another Krishna Magic. Another Krishna Magic, another Krishna Magic. This is how the Bhagavatam spread throughout the world. Once Prabhupada brought the Bhagavatam, that thing started really happening, you know. Another Krishna Magic, just to detail, Prabhupada wanted to publish Krishna book, right? So, in those days, Shyama Sundar had a good relation with George Harrison, and Prabhupada told him, why don't you go to George Harrison and ask him to publish your Krishna book? And Shyama Sundar said, oh, Prabhupada, we can't do that, you know, I mean, these people, they're so, like, you know, sensitive, because everyone wants money from them because they're famous and rich. I won't do that. And Prabhupada said, no, you just tell him that I want him to publish the Krishna book. Say, my spiritual master asked me to ask you to publish Krishna book, right? And okay, Shyama Sundar went and he was invited for dinner with George Harrison and some friends. They were sitting around the table and taking vegetarian food, of course. And then Shyama Sundar said, George, my spiritual master asked if you would eventually be able or willing to publish the Krishna book, right? And George Harrison was sitting next to him, and he sort of like flushed, his face became grave. And Shyama Sundar thought, uh-oh, that's what I thought will happen, you know. He will say, so they want money from me, And then Krishna Magic happened. Suddenly, a thunderstorm was there, and suddenly a lightning hit the house, bang, you know. And the lights went out, everything, you know. And then the servants, they were running around and putting back the fuses and everything. And then the lights went on again, and George Harrison was smiling. And he said, well, I guess you can't argue against that. Right? So there's Krishna Magic, you know. These things happen due to the blessings, as you said, of the acharyas, that they have the blessings. They don't happen, they're not ordinary events. The whole spreading of the Krishna consciousness movement is not an ordinary thing. Okay? So Krishna Magic. Hare Krishna. Any other questions? Okay. So thank you very much for having me. Thank you for having me for this wonderful festival. And I will be looking forward. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
What do you like? You guys
No, I don't like it.
different colors in case you
I don't like it.
No?
It's so big.
I don't care. Right?
But it's so weird. Why there's no lotus out?
She's grown too big for it now.
The magic begins happening. Things happen. So I the life is so incredible because it's from behind us. But the life is so valuable. Because sometimes Can you send me some normal people open-minded? Only the ghost can
Popula, do you need the light?
No, I don't think so.
Yes.